Hello everybody and welcome to round 42 of the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship, the anti-penultimate round of this series at Fern Club with a custom configuration. I'm Peter Butcher and I'm joined in the Sim Broadcast commentary box tonight by a brand new commentator, Zdeněk Cagaš. Hi kid, as people will probably know you by.
Hello and welcome to the stream. I'm sure we'll have a really good race today, and we already see people are up to pace, so let's get to it.
Yeah, we've got around about 4 minutes left until the start of qualifying, so I think it's time to bring the audience up to speed with where we are in the championship with 3 rounds to go. First of all, we'll head over to show you where we are in the championship. We have 3 rounds to go. We're at Fern Bay tonight. and that leaves the FXO at Aston North reverse next week, and the BF1 at K32 in 2 weeks' time for the final. The conclusion of the 44-round Team Up Racing Championship is upon us. In the Drivers' Championship, leading the way with a 93-point margin now is Jan Bukowski from Team Up Racing, ahead of his teammate Gavin Peat with 2,937 points, a huge margin now over his teammate after Gavin didn't have such a great race last time. Nika Pantola still in P3, Rick Cardle in P4. These are the only 4 drivers who can theoretically still lift that trophy after round 44. Then we have Jari Kitila for World Class Lines, Traspasser for Team Up Racing in P6, Pekka Koivunen for World Class Lines in P7, Joni Kitila, Chris McElroy, Michael Malek, David Godge and Timu Soini, the top 12. Then it's Ayub El Hanouni, Magic, Tom Salmonen, Teo Jose, Frankie Sinchetti, Gabor, Adam, Pedro, Anton Alas, Paulis Petrauskas, Daniel Balla and Jeff and Jacob rounding out the top 24 in the Drivers' Championship. Over in the Teams Championship, I think everybody here who's been following the season will know what's going on here. Yes, Motorsport with the tiniest of margins still over Team Up Racing, 17 points in it after round 41. Then it's World Class Lines who are out of the running now for the Teams Championship. Then we have Race Green Autosports, Born to Race, Master Race Car, TC Racing, Road Appraiser Racing Team, Team Sidus, Nordic Racing Team, Energy Virtual Racing and Global Gaming Racing rounding out the top 12 teams. The other 12 teams still in their own little battles. There's not much between those teams, so probably going to be some changes there in the last 3 rounds of the season. Kid, you've had a look around at the track, and you described it as Monaco earlier. What can the audience and the drivers expect from this tiny circuit here today in the XFG?
Well, definitely some tight and close racing, because these cars are made for it, and I wouldn't expect anything else. Not many overtaking opportunities, but I believe at least into turn 1, then after first sector and maybe into the final turn, if there are some brave people jumping over the curbs, then. But I think it will be very interesting.
Yeah, I think we ran this layout. In one of the other series that we broadcast earlier in the year, I think, and it was with the RB4. Or that could have even been here actually. I'm not sure, but there was a lot of cars rolling over at the cut through down towards the start finish straight. So I expect to see some XFGs on their roof in qualifying and in the race today. Yeah,
I also expect the championship battle to be really shaping up, because the top 4 is still wide open, although my favorite is Jan Jiban, because he's been leading the championship for most of the year, if not all the time. So I really think he will hold it to the end. And in the teams, well, we will see.
Yeah, we're hearing that there's going to be a slightly different qualifying format again today because of the amount of drivers that we've got on the server, which is great. We believe it's going to be 2 groups, and they'll be sent out at various times throughout the session. So we'll see lap times coming in at a different rate than usual. And the qualifying session should be starting any minute now. So we're going to have 2 8-minute sessions, separated by basically the driver number, Kid. This is going to be fun. So we'll have 2 8-minute sessions. So that's going to give drivers a lot less time than they probably originally thought they were going to have. And the session is underway. So let's take the viewers to the track.
Okay, so the best time in the practice was 12.7, so we can expect low 13s and maybe some high 12s from the top guys. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, huge gaggle of cars leaving the pits, and we've got Adam Brown there leading the field around with one of the road appraiser drivers up ahead. So this first group will get only 8 minutes, then there'll be a short break, probably 2 minutes, and then the second group will be sent out.
Yeah, these guys should really make some bigger gaps, because this is not the way you want to start your qualifying session, especially if it's shortened like this today.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a short track and they're already at the final corner, so now Adam's backing off and everybody else behind is, well, there's already been an accident, so yeah.
TJ won the lottery. He's the first guy on the start-finish straight and already speeding up to his hot lap.
Yeah, TJ's timed this perfectly. Everyone behind not really being that courteous with the space. One of the Global Gaming cars there running into the back of Adam. Not very nice, but anyway.
Taiha and Frank, they are basically trying to fight it out. Frank is going for the overtake. I don't know why, but I guess that's Frank.
Yeah, down into turn one there, and he's run wide and held them both up, so yeah. This is not what you need to do. It's a short lap. They'll get loads of attempts in this 8-minute stretch, but you're not gonna. Yeah, you just need to find your own space. This is why we separated into 2 groups.
Yes, exactly. You don't need to waste time like this.
Apparently, half the track is empty. Yeah, all the cars are all in one spot right now.
Yeah, must go faster.
It's the racing driver mentality. They put their visors down, and then it's like they see another car. Oh, must race them. It looks like Jaban's catching up to Adam as well.
They might have been looking at the TBOC series recently, because the qualifying format where you have only 2 hot laps during the whole qualifying should be an example for this. Although you have unlimited laps here, you can still put some bigger gap between yourself and some other cars.
Yeah, so even though TJ got the best run out of the final corner and onto his hot lap, he's not put it on pole yet. Jaban currently takes that provisional spot ahead of Global Gaming's Sherlock, who got a decent exit after kind of running into the back of Adam and compromising his first lap. Adam has either aborted his run or hasn't crossed the line yet. Not sure what's gone on there. Pedro for Team Up Racing P4 currently. Kai K Propo there in P5. I'm wondering where Gavin Pete is. I don't know whether he's in the second group. Possibly. So yeah, we won't see all of the names appearing straight away. Obviously there's no track evolution. The wind is basically constant in LFS, so there's no disadvantage to drivers in either the first or second sessions.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where Gavin Pete is, but is he even here?
Well, he famously, I suppose, missed qualifying last week for the Oval in the XRT and was only able to join for the second race. He's in the server and he's in Group 2, we're hearing.
Okay. Now TJ makes the pole position provisionally by 500ths of a second. He had a really good lap, really clean and fast.
Yeah, on such a short track in a car that is very predictable, we expect to see the times to be very close, and they already are at the top. Only 700ths of a second separating TJ, Jaban, and Pedro. Yeroloko for Yes Motorsport. I think he's the only Yes Motorsport driver in this first group. The rest of the Yes Motorsport cohort will be in the second group. So many Team Up Racing drivers in this first group: Rocky, Jelly, Frank, Mega, Pedro, and Jaban.
Yeah, and just
as number goes into P7.
Just as you were talking about Rocky, I witnessed him climbing the hill outside of the track. Probably some problem.
But there we are then. All 40 of the first group have set their lap times. Whether there are any more than 20 people in this group we'll find out in a lap or two. I think Adam's yet to set a lap time in this session, so I think we at least expect a lap time from him. There we go. There he goes. P5 for Adam. Finally manages to get a lap in.
Very good from him.
And Kaike Propo up to P2.
Meanwhile, TJ improves again to 12.86. So we have first 112 of the qualifying session.
Two minutes and 15 seconds left in the first group's qualifying session as TJ runs quite wide. Doubt this will be an improvement unless that line is somehow better. Not sure.
Mandula is finishing his first lap. He took his time and he goes to 21st place, so I expect some improvement from him.
Sherlock, who showed early pace, is coming up to the line again. He's currently P6. Let's see if he can improve. He doesn't on that round, but still not seen that name in the championship so far, unless he's using a different pseudonym. P6 for the global gaming driver. And Adam down in P7. Normally quite strong in these front-wheel drive cars, so he'll be hoping that that time will stand when the second group of drivers leave the pit lane in just under 3 minutes time.
There are some names I expected a little bit higher up the table, so let's see what they do with their final lap.
Yeah, Mandula is one of those, I think. I think Mandula definitely will be surprised to be outside the top 20 within the first group. That's possibly relegation zone. With only a minute left, Mandula needs to get across start-finish.
Yeah.
And pray that his next lap is good, or the lap he's on is good. Let's see what he can manage.
But Jaban is finishing a good lap, so maybe...
Mandula still P21, so he's got to make this lap count.
Jaban goes to P2.
Yeah, good lap that. Also just inside the 1 minute 12. Only two drivers so far to do that. 30 seconds left, so anybody who's rounding the final couple of corners will get another lap. Everybody else, this is their final run. Adam up to P3 with a great lap there. 1:13 dead. The clock hits 0 on this session. Araujo for Energy Virtual Racing will be the final car. Mandula is exiting the final corner now. Let's see if he can improve. I think he's going to be at risk of being relegated along with Rocky here. So Mandula, who has consistently been in the top 10 or so throughout the last few, many times during this championship, he needs this to be a good lap.
It doesn't look very good.
Oh, it's P19. He might just scrape in, but that's not a quick lap. Not a good session for Race Green. Mandula there. Two world-class Lions drivers ahead of him.
I wonder what happened here, if he had a bad setup or if he doesn't like this car.
Andre's given up his lap. Yeah, you're right. And Adam's coming across the line. He'll be the last car. Does he improve on P3? He doesn't, so P3 is for Adam. So, Kid, after the first group of drivers have completed, we have 22 names on the board. It looks like Jella and Rocky 7up may be in the elimination zone, depending on how many drivers we have in the second group. Obviously, only 40 start positions. TJ leading the way ahead of Jaban, then Adam, Sherlock, Yoni Catilla, Kaike Propo, Pedro, Andre Araujo, Abe for Born to Race, Yari Catilla, Number, Redbot, Yeroloco, Frank, Zabot, then Talha, Soini, Boz, Mandula and Mega. Probably safe, but who knows? Let's see what happens in the second group when that gets underway in probably about 30 seconds time. I want to say that I expected to see quite a few more cars on their roof before the final corners, to be honest. Um,
Yeah, I was expecting quite a lot of cars on the roof as well, but I guess they are saving it for the race.
yeah, hopefully. I mean, we like to see spectacular cornering. Saw a number of cars flipping and pushing the limits in practice. But yeah, we have cars lining up at the end of the pit lane now then.
Yeah, still over 1 minute to go, but I guess people will still try to get to the line as fast as possible.
Yeah, the pit lane will open in just under a minute's time. We've got a 3 wide situation at the end of the pit lane. This is not normal. I wonder if these guys have ever watched a Formula 1 race where you're supposed to line up in single file.
Yeah, GG guys are obviously trying to take the first place because two of the 3 GG guys are on the first 2 place. Then it's Gavin Pete, then it's Mr. Fetch, Maddie, Renault Koots, Jarda Dohnalík. They will be all fighting for best position for the first lap.
Yeah, Mr. Fetch always likes being at the end of the pit lane, as we know from the Turbo Challenge. I think in at least the last 2 races, he's been the first car out. Pit lane opening in 10 seconds time, and hopefully the horn blaring will finish, because I'm getting a headache already. 3 seconds, and the session is underway. Green flag for the second part of qualifying here.
And Unite darts out of the pit lane and over the grass and overtakes everybody.
You'd think this was some sort of race.
Yeah, but as we said earlier, in the first part of qualifying, this is not the way to go. Let's see how they deal with this. But Unite has the best position for now. Let's see if Renault Koots overtakes him because he's all over his back.
I think if anybody were to leave the pits now, they'd have a completely clear qualifying session, because again, all the cars are within 2-3 corners of each other. So anybody who has a brain up in their skull, they could have had a completely clean qualifying session here, but they all just fancied getting out and having a race for 8 minutes. Unite leads the way. He will be the first car across the line to start his hot lap, closely followed by 3 other cars, 2 of which from Global Gaming. They seem to love to be right behind someone as they start a qualifying lap.
Yeah.
Unite's run quite wide and he's gone off.
And Renault Koots goes past him, so all the work for nothing for Unite.
Yeah, so Renault Koots not only got a slipstream down to turn 1, he now has clear track for the remainder of his first lap. Obviously his tyres will be a little bit cold, so don't expect it to be too quick. And Unite has found Gavin Pete to follow.
His first split is good. It's not the top split, but he's going very well. It's nice, clean and steady lap so far. But I think his first attempt will be on or just into top 10. Maybe lower a bit.
Well, here comes Renault Koots to the line now. We're going to see a whole stream of times coming in. The times on the board, if you're just joining us, are from the first group of drivers that went out. We've separated this qualifying session into 2 groups. Renault Koots comes across the line and sets a 1 minute 13.08. A strong lap for his first lap time. Unite, obviously with that botched first corner, will be in last place probably after that first attempt. And with 5 minutes left in the session, none of the top 3 are even remotely in jeopardy right now. We expect to see these lap times of the drivers currently out on the circuit go down as we progress, as their tyres get a bit warmer and they maybe learn the track a bit better.
Yeah, I'm surprised with Sherlock because I'm not familiar with the name, and he's still in the P4. Let's see how he holds up until after this part of qualifying. But I think with 1:13.02 he should be quite high.
Let's see whether any of the other global gaming cars can get as high as that.
So far we have Gustas in position 21 and just under seconds slower than his teammate.
So the slowest time from the first session, Rocky 7 Up, is currently in P39. So a couple of drivers need to improve, and they will start eliminating drivers from the first session.
Yeah, I think that with the driver quality we have here, but also with the time Rocky has set, and just I was about to
just
say
been
he's
beaten.
out.
Yeah, he's out.
I thought he's gonna make it because his time wasn't so bad, but it's a shame for him.
Yeah, Chris McElroy improved just enough to knock Rocky out. So Chris McElroy for TC Racing up to P35 was the driver who demoted Rocky from this race. TJ still out front. Maddie for Team Up Racing has dethroned Adam off of the provisional top three. Maddie slots into P3 with a 1:12.98.
Just to give the viewers a little picture of how the standings are, the top 26 is in 1 second. And just when I was saying it, Renault Koots tops the standings with 12.75.
Yeah, that's quite a big margin as well, isn't it? It's like 11 hundredths of a second faster than TJ. Around such a short lap, that's a big margin in qualifying.
It is, but then Renault is a good racer and he always does well in qualifying.
For those of you just joining and wondering who this new voice is in your ears in the Sim Broadcasts TV commentary box, I'm joined by Zdeněk Cagaš tonight, otherwise known as Kid. Kid, do you want to talk us through a little bit of your LFS experience to those of you who out there who don't know who you are and what you've been doing?
Well, I have been racing in LFS and as well started my sim racing career in 2005 and mostly in LFS ever since, with some small detours to games like R Factor, Assetto Corsa, and other games and simulators. Yes, and. But I have been participating in pretty much everything. 16-hour races. I have second place from 16-hour race with my teammates from Czech Republic. I have been in 24-hour races, LFS card, Kyoto races from NDR, you name it. So
yeah, you've been around the block a few times. Safe to say.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's great to have you with us. Gavin
Thank
Pete
you.
for Team Up Racing has just gone up and done a great lap. This is looking like a strong round for Team Up Racing right now. Yes Motorsport are not even inside the top 10. Fast and Unite are in P12 and 13. This is not good news for Yes Motorsport with such a tiny lead in the championship. But we know that they're a strong outfit, but Team Up Racing are definitely showing their muscle today.
Yeah, this will be a very good round for them if they can finish where they qualify. Meanwhile, at the bottom, Team Rock Racing is also as well closing the standings for now with Mega in 39th and Ziele in 40th place. And the cutoff time is right now 1:14.73. So they have last 20 seconds to start their lap and improve.
Yeah, this session disappeared quite quickly, didn't it? Renault Koots out in front with a huge lead over everybody else. Maddie, the quickest other driver in this session, ahead of his teammate Gavin Pete, actually with the same lap time. Maddie obviously set it before Pete, so Maddie takes fourth place for now.
That is true. people who qualified in the first session and will have the same time as the people who qualify with that same time in the second session, they will have the advantage of setting the time earlier, and thus better qualifying position.
I think that's the only disadvantage that this second group has. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, there are a couple of situations where drivers have the same lap time. We've got a tie for 4th and 5th currently. We've got a tie for 7th and 8th. We've also got a tie for 10th and 11th. So yeah, with such a tiny track, and 16th and 17th as it happens. So quite a lot of same times happening. As Gavin Peak crosses the line for his final attempt and goes P4 ahead of Maddie. What a lap. 200ths faster than his teammate.
Very nice.
Where's Renault Coots? Renault's finished, I think. Renault's done. He's not going to improve any further, but he doesn't need to because it looks like that time will give him pole position for race number 1 here in round 42 of the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship. A couple of cars still on laps about to finish. Yeah, we'll be able to run you down the full order of the 40 cars that will qualify for this session. We've lost a few from the first session, obviously. Because we had more cars than there are grid spots in Live for Speed, which is awesome. We don't see that too often these days, but nice to see a full grid, especially at the climax of the championship, so that all of the championship contenders have plenty to think about and plenty of traffic, I assume, in the races that will be following in just a few minutes' time. So, it looks like Renault Coots has bagged pole position ahead of TJ for Road Appraiser. Then it's Jaban, Gavin Pete and Maddie, the strong Team Up Racing trio, out in the lead by a considerable margin over any of the S Motorsport drivers. Adam from TC Racing P6, Global Gaming Sherlock P7, World Class Lines Johnny Catilla P8. Then we see the first of the S Motorsport drivers in P9, Fast, the only S Motorsport driver in the top 10. That's shocking. Kaike Paroppo P10, Pedro in P11 for TRR. Then it's Twin for Born to Race, Yes Motorsports Unite in P13, Phantom P14, Erotica P15, Andre Araujo P16, then it's Ayub Yari Catilla, Bortz and King of Ice rounding out the top 20. As we head into the bottom 20, we've got Frank in P21, Gustas P22, Number P23, Pekka Koivunen in P24, Redbot for Race Green in P25. Gum Garage Darrenus P26, Yes Motorsports Yerra Loco P27, Team Up Racing Texas P28, Pukis and Sabot round out the top 30. Talha for Master Race Car with his teammate Kig in P31 and 32. Soini and Boz for World Class Lines in P33 and P34. Yaroslav Donalik and Chris McElroy are on row 18. Then Mandula, Mr. Fetch in row 19 and Mega Angela for Team Up Racing round out the back of the field on row 20. That was a fun little qualifying session there, kid. A bit unusual to have two groups of cars going out.
Indeed. I want to give a special shout out to Jarda Dohnalik, who managed 35th place, so that's great for him. And I hope he improves on it a little bit.
I'm sure he will, no doubt. So we have a couple of minutes to talk about a few things between these races. I want to bring to the attention of the audience a couple of series or a couple of events that we're going to be streaming here over the next few weeks and months. Firstly, let's have a talk about the MRC BF1 League. That starts on Sunday, the 22nd of November, and that's a 5-round stream organised by Master Race Car. That will be streamed live here on Sim Broadcast. So if you fancy doing some F1 racing on Sundays, there are 5 rounds beginning on the 22nd of November and going through until January next year. The first events on our calendar that move into 2021, so that's exciting. And we also have the MRC Formula E race as well, and I'm going to quickly play the trailer for that, so don't go anywhere. So, yep, that's the Formula E race that's going to be organised by Master Race Car again, and that's happening on the 12th of December. If you fancy joining in on that, what did I call it? I meant the Master Race Cars E-Challenge, my mistake. That's happening on the 12th of December. Sign-ups are open on the LFS forum. That'll be broadcast here on Sim Broadcasts. The time is yet to be decided, but it should be, we think it might be sometime in the evening, but as soon as we have the time that race will happen, we will let you know. It's not until December, we've still got a month, but yeah, it's using the Fox, which I think is very interesting, and it's an under-fueled race, so you won't have enough fuel to finish. You'll have to do some fuel saving, which is, I guess, where the resemblance to Formula E comes in. We're all looking forward to that. It's going to be a very interesting race, especially considering the layout is made of concrete and resembles the New York E-Prix track. It's been very, very well designed, very well made by MRC's Michael Malek. Cool. Back to this evening's action. We have two races coming up for you. And let's quickly run down the order in the Drivers' Championship. Jan Wikowski, or Jaban, is leading from Gavin Peat and Nika Matola. Rick Cardle there in P4, the only other driver able to clinch the Drivers' Championship as it currently stands. Over in the Teams' Championship, real quick, similar story up front. Yes Motorsport leading Team Up Racing by only 17 points, but it does look as though that might be changing today because Team Up Racing have some pretty quick drivers at the head of this field and a lot of drivers on the track, which means they can separate their split their effort between race 1 and 2. 10 seconds away from race 1, kid. What are we looking forward to? How's it going to go? How's this start going to go down into turn 1?
The highlight for me will be Jaban and Gavin Peat, because they are fighting for the championship, and they are third and fourth on the grid. So this will be definitely a thing to watch.
Here we go then for the start of race number 1. We've got 17 laps of Fern Bay Club with the extra 2 corners added to it in this custom configuration coming up. And Renault Coots lines up on the front row with TJ for Road Appraiser next to him. We're just waiting for the lights. Look at the size of this grid. This is brilliant. 4 lights.
It's enormous.
And we're green. Awesome number of cars as Renault Coots pulls away. Immediately TJ pulls across to grab the slipstream. Jaban looking for the slipstream as well. All these cars thundering down to turn 1.
So far we're clean through the turn 1.
Yeah, amazing. Everybody leaving each other quite a lot of room, but then it's all going to get different as we head through this little bit of a chicane. Tyres flying everywhere. We've got cars off into the grass, but remarkably clean, I have to say.
Fast is spinning on the, and there's collision between Gustav's Frank and the number.
Yeah, pretty messy up into the cut through. But Renault Coots has managed to retain his lead ahead of TJ. Jaban wasn't able to get through either. And as everybody else files into position behind, Unite's made a great start up to P10, fast with a shocker. He's all the way down at the back now in P40. So if he can keep that, he'll have a good starting position for race 2. As we head up the start-finish for the first time, Renault Coots he's got a commanding lead ahead of TJ. TJ under a little bit of threat then from Jaban, but there's not enough straight to be a threat. Maddie's looking for a move on Adam. He's side by side heading into turn 1. Adam in the defensive position. Maddie going to try it around the outside. No, he's lots in behind. Has a clump come.
Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock with an absolute send there.
Side of Yannick Attila. That was big send.
Yeah, now Yoni's under threat from Kaike Paroppo. Side by side they go through the chicane. Oof, Kaike just manages to get ahead. Yeah.
That was wise thing to do, but now he's under attack from 2 other people, Erotica and Unite, and sideways into the turn. Wow.
Yeah,
Erotica is on the grass.
Pay the price for that. And Yoni, yet more contact. I think he's going to hit the wall.
Very bad luck for him, and he's out of the race.
Super, super bad luck there for Yoni Katila.
Gavin Peat and Jaban are still fighting with TJ, trying to get away from one another and retain their position or get more points on each other.
TJ's got his mirrors full of Jaban. Jaban is not close enough to make any use of the slipstream. Obviously, in the slower cars, you have to be quite a lot closer for that slipstream to come into effect. But yeah, TJ doing everything he needs to do right now. Adam goes defensive once again from fresh air, but Sherlock and Kaike Propo behind are still battling hard. And there's contact.
Sherlock,
Oh,
no.
Adam.
Another send, but this was too far behind, and he spins Adam almost.
Absolutely, Sherlock is driving with red mist out there, and Adam blaring the horn. Only fair. That was a crazy dive, and Unite's made up 2 places because of that.
At the same time, there's
Oof. Pedro off.
That's a shame.
Yeah, this is quite aggressive driving. We don't normally see it this early in the racing, especially from such a small number of drivers. But Sherlock, he's really overdriving this car at the moment.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't go for any more aggressive moves. We have quite a big gap between 5th and 6th position. So this is, and Kaike is also running away from Unite in 7th position. So we have this top 6 in clean air.
Yeah, and here comes Sherlock. He's got the run on Unite as we look towards the back of Unite's car.
Unite goes defensive.
Yeah, Sherlock's going to go for the send. He brakes later.
Unite probably saw on previous laps what was happening.
Yeah, and Adam's right there. I think Unite will have the run through the chicane. Yep, Adams.
Yeah, this was good.
Adam's now right behind Sherlock again. And Unite now with a bit of breathing room as Adam mounts the charge and tags the back of Sherlock.
Takes his revenge.
Yep, he's allowed one of those in my mind, but no more. Needs to pick a better place to get past than that. That was a little bit ambitious, and he's gone for it again. He's cut the corner.
That's a big cut, I think.
Now he's under threat from the other Global Gaming car, which basically does the same move that Adam tried on Sherlock. This is all getting really close. Not sure I like to see this, to be honest, but yeah, this is Erotica giving Adam a bit of a tap then. Adam on the horn. This is touring car racing in little hatchbacks.
It's more than that.
Yeah, it's bangers. Okay. Twin is in the best position possible. He has the best seat in the house for the battle that's unfolding ahead of him. He's in P12. He's got Phantom ahead of him. He's drawing up alongside Phantom, in fact. And there's yet more contact between Adam. I don't know what's going on here. Adam spears into the 2 cars next to him as well. This is a disaster. I can't explain what's happening here.
That's really unfortunate.
And Adam really rejoins in front of the rest of the field. This is shocking driving, honestly.
I think GG guys have something to think about.
Yari Katilla, huge damage on the back of his car now, thanks to Adam rejoining in front of him. Yeah, Adam's better than that. He'll, have to walk away with his tail between his legs, I think.
He will do better in the second race with reverse grid. He's down the order, really down the order. I don't even want to count how deep.
No, he's out of this. Renault Coots leads with the fastest lap with a mighty margin over Jaban. Then it's TJ. So Jaban managed to get past TJ while we were focusing on the carnage that was happening down the field. Gavin Pete is in P4 still, and Maddie's made it up to P5 thanks to Adam basically falling off the rails.
Good job from Jaban getting up to P2, because now he's got bigger points gap from his teammate who's behind him in the championship.
Yeah, Tilo did message me earlier. He had kind of a list of stats on who could theoretically win the championship today, and I'll have to look those up for race 2. We have kind of the details of what Jaban needs to do in order to clinch the championship early. We'll bring those to you whenever we get them. But yeah, you're right. If Jaban finishes ahead of his teammate, he's safe. If he finishes a couple of places behind, he's probably also safe. But you can't afford any slip-ups or big drops of points, because otherwise that lead will come tumbling down again. It's so easy to lose points in this championship, and so easy to lose points and so hard to gain them. But he's doing everything he needs to do right now.
That is very true. Gavin Pete is gaining on TJ as well, so I guess TJ is not having a good race on this setup. His tires look okay, but something isn't right at his on his wheel.
We're on lap 7 of 17, and it's getting close for that final podium spot between Gavin Peat and TJ. Jaban with a decent margin, but Renault Coots is absolutely untouchable right now out front. I think he might come under some traffic problems in a minute. To be honest, I thought 17 laps would be enough for the cars at the back to not be a problem for the leaders, but I might be wrong.
Yeah, with some cars already having to pit for repairs, that can happen easily then. We have Jaroloko and Mandula fighting for position along with Kig and Jari Katila. Mandula is trying to get past Jaroloko, but it's very close, and every mistake is multiplied on the straight.
Yeah, Jari Katila, after having that contact with Adam at turn 1, is down in P23 ahead of this battle. He's got a bit of a gap ahead of Derinus. Sorry, ahead of Jaroloko. Derinus is quite a way up the road. And
Jaroloko goes wide and Mandula goes through.
Yeah, he hit the back of. He was so wide and so late on the brakes. He hit the back of Jari Katila. I didn't think that was possible. There was so much of a gap there. As Jari throws a tyre at Mandula. It's such a factor here. Those tyres, they can really hamper your lap. And yeah, Jaroloko already able to draw alongside the race green driver. Goes through, but he's quite a lot of overspeed there.
Crisscross from Mandula. This will be very interesting into the next section. But wow, Kick pushes Jaroloko a bit, and they are all three right on each other's bumpers.
Yeah, Kid going rallying here. And Jaroloko into the back of Mandula again. He likes bumping the back of that car. It's going to get all very close behind. Kig under threat from his teammate. That's Talha.
We have this pack of 6 cars fighting for every inch of the track right now, but Jaroloko and Mandula going away a little bit, and Jaroloko has a draft, so he will try to attack Mandula at the end of the straight.
Or even before. Here he goes. Jaws alongside. Cross start finish. There's a battle in the background as well, but we'll stick with this one. This is down in P25 and there's still battles going on. This is awesome. Jaroloko around the outside, gets a little bit better on the brakes this time, but Mandula, he has a nose ahead, but this is going to be close at the chicane.
Yeah, Jaroloko with the inside line for the chicane and gets the position back.
Everybody behind clean through as well.
This is amazing.
Mandula goes off there into the wall. He got his braking completely wrong. And he's lost a load of places. He's behind even the 2 TC Racing drivers now. Gavin Peat and Jaban side by side. No, that's not Jaban, is it? That's Maddie. Sorry. Side by side, they're using very similar liveries, but I noticed the driver number was different. Maddie and Gavin Peat side by side into turn 1. Maddie.
This is very bad team strategy for Gavin Peat, because he will be losing points if Maddie gets past.
I think Maddie might just be saying, come on, get a move on.
Yeah, go past TJ faster, I'm stuck here. Rocky is sitting on the pit wall calling, Gavin Peat, Maddie is faster than you.
A proper team boss would be telling Maddie to back off, I think, but let's see. TJ, a little bit ragged there. You can see that the gap between TJ and Jaban has opened up quite a lot. So this is Gavin's turn. Gavin's needs to get this move done. He takes a better line through the final corner, but the gap's still huge.
Involved. And Maddie is going for it again. But let's see what happens now. Gavin leaves the inside open, Maddie goes for it. He doesn't say no, and there will be change in position, or Gavin holds it around the outside.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird. I think.
Yeah, losing time to TJ. It's not good.
No, I think maybe he should have just gone for that.
But as you said, team orders are really weird here.
Yeah, I think if Maddie would have got past, maybe he would have been able to help Gavin draw up closer to a bit to the back of TJ. But now that gap just opening up because of that battling, which is just really, really strange to see. United's coming under a bit of pressure from Sherlock again. Sherlock, after that touring car-esque start to the race, he's drawn back up to the Yes Motorsports driver. Unite holding the honour for Yes Motorsport here. The nearest driver to Nico in that team is P16. So yeah, I expect Team Up Racing to get closer, if not take over the lead of the Teams Championship, maybe even after race one with this result. But we will see. Probably not. Maybe after the whole round. Not a good day for Yes Motorsport this week.
I'm just checking out the order, and Adam has already made up some 7 to 8 positions, running in 27th position, which still isn't what he imagined, but good progress from his accident.
Yeah, he'll start quite high up on race 2 with that position. Only maybe 6 or 7 places behind where he started this race, so not too bad. Renault Coots is completely in a league of his own here. 12 laps on the 12th lap, and a lot of clean air behind him to Japan, as they are now coming up against traffic for the first time. Another of the Team Up Racing drivers getting well out of the way on the grass.
Yeah, Rocky was really cautious and didn't want to interfere.
So Sherlock has really drawn up to the back of Unite. I wonder if Unite will is having flashbacks to what he saw earlier in the race.
Let's hope not. Let's hope Sherlock has had his fair share of bad time.
Well, he's in the slipstream. I think he's going to fancy the move, judging by past experience.
He's steering out of the slipstream and probably not going for it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Unite still goes a bit wide though, maybe in anticipation of a lunge. You can see how close. Nico's skin a little bit out of date there. Season 2 of LRL finished. We covered the finale a couple of weeks ago. Needs to update that for Season 3. Come on, Nico, when's Season 3 starting? Anyway, Sherlock not close enough to do anything into Turn 3.
I'm thinking that if the TRR guys in 4th and 5th position are hoping the bump draft were not banned in this series, because otherwise they would be just cruising past everyone. Still holding each other up.
Yeah, Maddie's he's either got to go for the move or he's got to just stop hassling Gavin Pete, because, you know, I don't know,
At the same time, Sherlock is side by side with Unite, so this time it will be dive down the inside into turn 1.
Yeah, I think the move's going to be done before the corner, yeah.
Yeah, Unite lets him go. Maddie goes past Gavin Pete at the same time. He's on the inside for the chicane, and Gavin finally concedes the position, which is really odd, but I guess Maddie is really faster. Goes on the hunt for TJ, who is not 1.7 seconds down the road.
Yeah, this is for the Teams Championship now, remember. The Drivers' Championship is one thing, the Teams Championship is another. If Maddie can get past TJ in the 4 laps that we've got left, then that's more points for TRR and fewer points for Yes Motorsport. So this move needed to happen a couple of laps earlier, I think, because the gap to TJ is massive now. But has Maddie got the pace to close it down in 3 laps now as we head to the line? Probably not. That gap's huge.
But he already pulled a gap from Gavin Pete, so nothing's impossible.
Nothing's impossible. We say that a lot in the TRR Championship. Basically our catchphrase at this point. Adam makes up another place. He got past Texas up to P25, so he's had a bit of a yo-yo race as the TC Racing driver.
That's good for him. Well, I'm still surprised we have 36 cars running on this combo. I was expecting like half of the field finishing only, so maybe we will get it in the second race.
Maybe. And speaking of inter-team battles, Twin and Ayub for P12 going at it. I think there's been a change of position there, maybe not, but yeah, Twin is now size. Yes, there has been a change of position. Ayub's got past Twin.
Yeah, with this layout being unofficial, we don't see the position swap immediately.
No, but we are working on a feature here where we will be able to show you live positions during an open configuration race, which is something we're working on, but for now we only get position updates at splits, which is a little bit of a shame.
Ooh, we have Jari Katila on the side and Chris McElroy driving into him.
Doesn't stop to flip him over, just a bit of the wrong time to go wide there for Chris McElroy.
Oh, and Rocky goes into Jari as well. He's probably going to flip him back, so at least someone.
this isn't ideal, because if the leaders come by now,
Rocky,
yeah,
Rocky, what are you doing?
This is
Rocky, no.
Don't do it. Here comes the leader. Yeah.
And Jari
out of the way of the leader. Yeah, that's thank goodness for that. I'm not sure what Rocky was thinking there. Anyway.
Rocky gets told off from the race director.
Oh dear.
That was really unfortunate. Well, Gavin Pete is now under pressure from Kaike Piropo, so he really wasn't up to the pace.
Yeah, this is odd. I'm sure he'll be thinking race 2 is going to be very difficult. But still, this is good for Team Up Racing. They've had a really strong race here. Depending on where the Yes Motorsports guys finish, obviously race 2 might be a bit different, but here comes Kaike then.
And the Renault Koots as well enters the final lap. So here we go. Let's see what happens.
Side by side, even contact through turn 1.
Kaike with the better exit for the next turn, I guess, if Gavin lets him. Oh no!
Side by side, contact, and Kaike's through. Good move.
That was a very good move.
Very good. I think Gavin Pete. I think what you'd say there is Gavin Pete got mugged. That was a mugging.
Going side by side into this chicane in any car is not a good idea, but these guys are so experienced. They managed it very well. Even with Kaike being from Brazil with the high ping, that was really good.
Yeah, he has a high ping, but he has one of the more stable pings. What's worrying is when you get South Americans with quite unstable pings, but Kaike with a very solid, solid stable ping, which is what you need. Doesn't really matter if it's too high as long as it's stable. Oh, we missed the finish.
Anyway, we have our winner.
to focus on the battles further down. Jaban P2, TJ P3. Maddie left it too late to try and get past Gavin Pete. He finishes P4. Kaike got past Gavin Pete for P5 on the final lap with that do or die move through the first chicane. Sherlock P7, Unite P8, Erotica P9, Andre Araujo P10, Phantom P11, Pedro P12. Ayub's got ahead of Twin and stayed there. They were side by side across the line. But yeah, Ayub coming out ahead in that battle. Frank for TRR, next to his teammate Bortz, 15 and 16. Then it's Gustash, number, Pekka Koivunen and King of Ice, rounding out the top 20. Boz for World Cross Lines comes across the line in P21. Then it's Yaroloko and Adam, who, as I mentioned before, had a bit of a yo-yo race up and down. Finishes P23. Derenes for Gum Garage P24. Texas for Team Up Racing P25. Mandula P26. Talha P27. Next to his teammate again. That's Kig in P28. Pukis, Soini, Chris McElroy, Redbot and Yaroslav Donalik round out the 33 finishers here in race number 1 of round 42 of the Team Up Racing 2020 Championship. That was exciting, Kid.
Yeah, I noticed Jarda Dohnalik pitted on the final lap strategically, which put him on the pole position for the next race. So that was interesting from him.
Maybe he fancied a run at the front, and why not? The other
Why
seven
not?
drivers who didn't finish this race will have to start behind, and that will be coming up in just a few moments' time. Thanks as ever for joining us for the Team Up Racing Tuesdays. I think we might miss this event. It's been quite a fun year. We have 3 rounds left, this and 2 more, and we have some exciting races coming your way for the final of the Team Up Racing series. The penultimate round next week will be at Aston North Reversed in the FXO, and the final in 2 weeks' time on the Tuesday, the 24th of November, with the BF1 at K32. An exciting combo and an exciting car, it has to be said, and a good way to finish off what has been a fantastic series this year. We've had fun broadcasting it, and we're still not done with it yet.
Yeah, and if I may, it's also a good practice for some people who are interested in joining the MRC BF1 League later, so don't hesitate to join for this final race.
Yeah, you stole the words from my mouth. The BF1 League on screen now. The first round is on Sunday the 22nd of November, as pointed out by Zdeněk there. You can sign up on the LFS forum. Sign-ups are open now. That's being run by MRC, and it's a 5-round championship streamed live here on Sim Broadcasts. So if you fancy more F1 racing on your Sundays, then you can join that championship. 5 races throughout the end of 2020 and the first few weeks of 2021. Also from MRC, we have their E-Challenge, which is on the 12th of December. Sign-ups are also open for that on the LFS forum. That'll be broadcast by us sometime that afternoon. And here's the trailer.
For those interested in joining the Formula E series, I hope you really like some eco races. I was watching some people already practicing the combo, at least on the unofficial servers where the layout was loaded. And there's a lot of interest, so don't hesitate as well.
Yeah, it's a great layout. I only managed to do a couple of laps on it, but it's really well made. For anyone wanting to have a look, it is hosted on the MRC test server, I think. The E-Challenge server. Go ahead and have a look and sign up for that one. It's going to be great. Around about a minute to go until the start of race 2. We believe that Jaroslav Dohnalik will be on pole for this one, which will be interesting. I don't know if Jarda's had a pole in the TRR Championship yet, so new territory for him possibly. And I'm sure it'll be fun for him flying down to turn 1 at the lead of what looks to be around about a 40 car grid again, which is awesome. 30 seconds to go, kid. Redbot is no stranger either to the front row. Redbot's been on pole and the second row and such in the second race quite a bit. Chris McElroy and Timu Soini will be on row 2. Pukis and Kig will be a row 3. Talha Mandula row 4. Adam will be on row 7. He'll be on the beginning of row 7, so that's actually a decent position. Hopefully he doesn't get hit from behind or gets tangled up in front, but let's see what he can manage from there. Renault Coots and Jaban, likewise Gavin Pete and Unite have a lot of work to do. They'll be right at the back of this race. And yeah, 17 laps is a lot of laps here. And anything can happen. Let's see whether they can make it through to the front of this one. It'll be a tall order, but we've seen weirder and stranger things happen in the Teamwork Racing Championship. Here we go then for the start of race number 2. We're going to take you to the track in 3 seconds.
But there's something not right with the grid. Obviously, there's bad poleman.
Huh. Yeah, you're right.
Yarda is very down the order.
Not sure what's happened there. Yeah, he's at the back, so Tom Fuel has somehow taken pole.
And we have a red flag.
Okie dokie. So the grid will be reset, and we will bring you that just as soon as we can in a couple of minutes' time. We'll take a quick pause here on Sim Broadcasts. We'll be back very soon. Don't go anywhere. Back to round 42 of the TRR 2020 Championship. The grid is set, the drivers are ready up for the start of race 2. Jaroslav Donlik takes up his rightful place ahead of the 39 car field also. Yeah, apologies for the break here. We have some, yeah, the drivers are readied up and we're ready to go.
Now Yarda Dohnalik finally in the right position and we are set up. I see the green lights on the lights, but I guess that's a bug.
Yeah, it's because of the... Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll just have to keep an eye on when they go. The drivers, obviously, they can see the right lights, but
yeah,
we can't.
The revs are up and we are go.
Jaroslav Donlik away well. Red bot.
Yarda going a bit defensively, holding the first position, and he's going on the same position out of the turn 1. There's all sorts of things happening behind him.
Araujo upside down at the first corner somehow. That's before the first corner.
How did that happen?
I don't even know how that's happened. Chris McElroy.
And we have madness after the first chicane, lots of car involved.
Yeah, lots of fun times happening down the field. But Yarda, he's just driven away from everybody. This is great. This is exactly what he wanted. Chris McElroy's being mugged by his teammate as well as a bunch of other people through the cut-through at the end of the club lap.
Adam is already up into 6th position, so he will be making up for the first race.
Yeah, he's about to mount a charge on Texas. He's got a good run here. He's going to make up this place before start-finish probably, and set his sights on the back of Kig, which is the red car, the number 54, up ahead. Side by side with Texas as we head across start-finish. Texas using the draft of Kig to try and mount a bit of a comeback. In the background we've got 3 cars wide as well. Adam later on the brakes.
Ban had a very good start, already up to 24th position, which is really good for him considering he's fighting for the first place in championship. Going side by side with his teammate Maddie behind Erotica and Kaike Piropo, but he lifts off and lets everyone go through.
Yeah, so Jaban up to P24, Gavin Pete in P26, and Unite now is there in the mix as well. And it looks like TJ is at the back of this quartet as Jaban hits the tyres.
Just ahead of them, it's 2 wide everywhere.
3 wide, in fact, and there's three-way contact. That's not going to go well when you've got Kaike proper in the middle. His ping's good, but it's not that good. Side by side still with Unite. Oh, and Unite got a bad run, and Kaike is going to draw alongside him.
Yeah, Jabano has Kaike's draft, so he will use that to get past Unite, perhaps.
Let's see, it's definitely going to be 3 wide or something into turn 1, because Jaban's going to go to the left. He's gaining on that world-class line.
4 wide. Oh no. Unite just holds it from attacking Gavin Pete, who was trying to force it 4 wide into turn 1.
Yeah, Timu Soini must have been holding his breath seeing all those 4 cars right behind him. He's getting out of the way, and that's Jaban being pitched round, and Gavin Pete as well involved. That's terrible. The 2 championship leaders involved in an incident, and everyone else just swarming past them. That is terrible for Team Up Racing.
3 wide again. Yeah, this will definitely hurt him, but at least his teammate isn't too far from him. In fact, he's behind. There's bots in the tires.
Yeah, all the tyres have been displaced at the second corner as Redbot takes the fastest lap and now mounts a charge on the back of the blue and red car that is Yaroslav Donolik. Very Czech colours.
Whatever happened to Renault Kutz? Look at his car, Pete. It already had better times.
That car's had contact front and both sides of the front and the rear left.
Yeah,
and it's still in P22. Okay.
Last thing it didn't do was flipping.
Yeah, Adams made it up to P4. He's taken the fastest lap of the race, and he's well within shot of getting the win of this race if he can keep his head down. Yaroslav Donolik's only 1 corner away, and he's under pressure from Redbot, so these 2 are going to be slowing each other down in a few corners' time, I believe.
But thanks to the fighting behind them, they have a good gap, and if nothing bad happens, I believe they are up for top 10 finish.
Yeah, but Jaban down in 25th and Gavin Pete in 28th, the 2 championship leaders. Yeah, it's going to be difficult for them to make any real points from this round, or this race rather. But the Yes Motorsports drivers are only a handful of places ahead. Number and Yaroloco P17 and 18, so Yes Motorsport will not doesn't look like they're going to get a very decent haul of points from this round at all.
Yeah.
interested to see what that does to the championship standings.
Yeah. So far, TRR flags being held by Frank and Maddie, who are ahead of Yes Racing. So
Yanni Cotillo goes purple with the fastest lap. Down in P27. What can he do from there? He's getting close at the front.
Yarda is very experienced, so unless he makes some mistake, I think this will be very, very long battle with him and Redbot.
Redbot also very experienced, but yeah, let's see how he does at trying to get past Yarda. Yarda will put his car in all the right places, I'm sure. In the meantime, that'll let Pukis and Adam catch up, and we'll have a four-way battle for the lead, I'm sure, within a lap, I suppose. Yarda goes defensive, and Redbot moves to his left. Side by side into turn one.
At the same time, but Redbot will have the inside for the chicane, so let's see how Yarda is brave.
He's not brave, he's sensible.
He's sensible indeed.
In the background there, Adam got past Pukis, so Adam's up to the podium spot, and now that the front guys have sorted themselves out, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Adam to catch. He would have wanted them to be battling for a little bit longer, but I think Adam's got the pace in that car to catch those two, so watch out.
Oh, and Tie High's on the roof,
And retires. Has he retired? No, he hasn't retired yet, but
he's been hit
probably
by
should.
Ban.
He probably should. Does he get more contact?
Pedro as well. TJ hits him.
Yeah, he just needs to get that car out of the race. What's he going to do other than cause incidents?
All guys hit him.
Yeah. If you're on your roof in a sprint race, get out of the race.
And Ban is now down to 28th position. His car looks like a crumpled paper.
Up ahead, the Yes Motorsport drivers are going hammer and tong. Number and Yarra Loco side by side. These guys do not want to be fighting. They need to be getting into an order where they can start to catch the cars ahead. Every single point that they earn now is going to be crucial, because with 2 rounds to go, they don't want to be trailing TRR by too much. And if they keep going like this, they are going to be, because they didn't get many points in race 1 and stuck down in 17th and 18th. They won't get many points in race 2 either, especially with Frank and Maddie. As Yarra Loco rolls the car, hits the wall, manages to recatch it. It was close.
So lucky.
Very lucky, but he loses yet more places. To a gum garage car. Who was that? That was
and Gum spins. It's Derinus. Derinus was hit and
right.
half spun. It's so difficult to overtake here. It proves in this race again.
Adam's going for a move. Sorry to interrupt. Adam's going for a move. Yarda's had a shocker of a lap. Redbot's pulled out quite a gap, and there's more contact. Come on, Adam.
They both held it miraculously.
Yeah, that's what happens when you brake when you're rubbing the door of another car. Pukis up to P4. Yarda loses his podium for now.
Oh, that's a shame.
Maddie takes the fastest lap for Team Up Racing. This is a strong round for Team Up Racing. I thought their championship was in tatters after the last race, where Yes Motorsport was so strong, but they've turned it around here. It's a good evening for them in their own championship, remember. Meanwhile, up ahead, Frank for Team Up Racing is trying to get them yet more points. He's in a battle with Global Gaming's Gustash.
Regarding the Drivers' Championship, the top 3 drivers are still in the back, very close together, so no big gains from one or the other.
Yeah, and after race 1, Jaban retained his championship lead over Kevin Pete, Nico P3 and Rick Cardle P4 still. Those are the championship results after race 1. But Rick Cardle now, importantly, is out of the championship race. It's now a 3-horse race between Jaban, Kevin Pete and Unite.
Makes the math a bit easier for us in the next 2 rounds. There's a three-way battle between Sherlock, Kaike, Piropo and Twin, and Renault Coots is in as well right now. They are going 3 wide into the final turn.
Yeah, Renault Coots fancies making his car look a little bit less like an XFG than it already does.
Maybe some aero tweaks. Now he has a draft, so let's see how it works.
Yeah, great move that. Sherlock losing 2 places and possibly a third, as that is Twin, who's right behind him. As we head side by side across start finish, Renault Coots sizing up Kaike Propo ahead, but we'll stay with this one. Let's see what happens. Renault sent it, and there's contact, and they're forcing each other off. Kaike's gone off.
It was unnecessary running Kaike wide.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of unfortunate contact. And the way that Kaike placed his car meant that Renault couldn't steer anymore, potentially. But anyway, Renault holds lead of this group. Sherlock got back past Twin. But yeah, Renault Coots, the right side of his car, the camber's all wrong, isn't it?
Yeah, but at the same time, with this car, he's climbing the most positions of anyone in this race so far.
Meanwhile, at the front, the gap between Adam and Redbot's coming down dramatically. Pukis is gapping Yarda, and Kig for Master Race Car is closing up to the back of Yaroslav Donalik. Side by side in the background between Mandula and Chris McElroy, the 2 sim broadcast, the 2 voices that you don't hear in our commentary box. Mandula, our videographer, and Chris McElroy, the cameraman, side by side in a race. It's always fun. Anyway, there they go. Mandula for race green, of course. Can't get the move done this time. Oh, as Elmo hits the tyre stack, and that's going to give Mandula the run he needs around the outside.
Yeah, he's going to be on the brakes into the next right turn, but Elmo brakes later, and Mandula thinks better of it.
Yeah, Frank and Maddie behind are catching these guys as well. Quite quickly, it has to be said, and with only 7 laps left.
Chris goes wide and Mandula is through.
Yeah, good to see clean racing between those 2.
Yeah, always nice to see clean racing in this series, as we all know that sometimes it gets too hard on some occasions.
Oh, there's a bit of bumping going on between Gustash, Maddie and Frank. Maddie had to back off the back of Frank because he ended up pushing him, but now, thanks to a bit of a bump from Gustash, Maddie's able to draw alongside his teammate. He has the fastest lap. It's going to be 3 wide.
Oh, this won't work.
Well, let's see. Maddie with a nose ahead, Frank on the inside line, and it actually remarkably worked fine for now. Maddie's still alongside. Will Frank yield? He does.
Gustas showing himself left and right and trying to wait for his opportunity.
Yeah, that was good from Gustas. He could have sent it and caused carnage, but instead decided to be reserved and hold back, which is nice to see. Goes against the grain of the other moves we've seen from Global Gaming in this evening's proceedings.
Indeed.
But there we go. He's in a good position. He doesn't want to throw it away. He's currently sat there in P10,
now up the
P9.
inside of Frank, but Frank has the inside for the next turn, and there's contact, and Gustas loses the position for now.
Yeah, needed to give Frank a little bit more room on the inside to avoid that side-by-side contact. But yeah, slots into a nice gap and needs to refocus and try and catch back up, because he's got Renault Coots only a couple of places behind and he looks fast.
Meanwhile, Mandula is already very big in the mirrors of Kig, so he will be trying to get his 5th position, I think, in this lap. Later on the brakes and very close.
Yeah, here we come up to the chicane then. Mandula sizing him up for a run. Tighter line, hits the tyre a little bit, but this is going to be a good run. I don't think he'll go for it in the next corner, surely not. Nope, dabber brakes from Mandula. Kig runs wide, and Mandula will say thanks, and he'll just drive past.
Yeah, easy.
Easy when the opponent just drives off the road for you. It's nice.
Indeed. Makes it easy for him.
Maddie's going to say the same, I think. I think he'll want a bit of that action, so he'll be asking Kig to kindly drive off the road for him. Maddie with a good race here. He's up to P7. And he's probably going to be P6 by the end of the straight. That's a good exit. He's in the slipstream.
Yeah, Kig with no weapons against this attack.
No, except the tiny engine in his XFG, and let's face it, it's already over. Maddie already ahead as we went over start finish. And he's through before turn 1.
Kig tries to crisscross, he goes up the inside.
Yeah, it's a good exit. He
wow.
Did a good job there. Maddie will leave. Yeah, Kig could have been a bit more aggressive. I think Maddie was ready to break out of that. Kig didn't have the confidence to try and run it through there, but yeah, a good attempt. And now he's under pressure from Chris McElroy.
Felt a bit like he didn't know what to do with the car at the moment.
My heart skipped a beat there. I pointed the camera at Elmo and he went up on 2 wheels over the curb, and I thought he was going to roll it. Normally whenever I point the camera at Elmo, he either gets involved in an incident or bins the car, but luckily not this time.
Up the front, Mandula already closing on Jarda Dohnalik, and Jarda Dohnalik right behind Pukis, so this will be a nice 3-way battle when it happens. And in the second place, Adam is already on the back of Redbot, so we have a lot of things to watch in the last 3 laps.
Yeah, it's such a relief having a Czech speaker in the commentary box so that you can pronounce all these Czech drivers. I wish we had you for the commentary for Bagheera earlier in the year.
I think you did very well.
Thanks, I know you don't mean it, but thanks.
No, I really do.
Okay.
Chris McElroy is past Kig, and Frank is behind Kig as well.
It's an absolute train of cars here, amazing. 3 laps to go.
It's a Kig train.
It's a huge train of cars.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kig's going for a return move.
8.
Yeah, Kig's gone for a return move around the outside. It's too wide and too wide again.
Erotica down the inside of Frank and overtakes Kig at the same time.
That was weird. He kind of used the side of Frank's car to push his way around the inside, and it's worked wonderfully for him. But yeah, Kig's lost 2 places there. Side by side for the lead, just about. Adam has a nose in there. Redbot very, very generous, leaves him enough room. That could have easily been a closed door. I wonder whether Adam drops behind. He doesn't want to take this lead in a scrappy fashion. Good clean racing from these two so far.
Also in the chicane, Mandula was trying to get past Jarda Dohnalik, but Jarda was really hard on him and pushed him into the tires a bit.
Adam's ahead as we head into the second chicane. So Adam takes over the lead of this race. I thought it was possible. And he's made it. He's actually done it. That's impressive.
Yeah, very well done. And good for him after the first race.
Yeah, he was a little bit unlucky in that first race, it has to be said. Didn't deserve that to be spun round after that big send into turn 1. So a good haul of points for TC Racing out of this race. Maddie all over the back of Mandula after that incident with, I'll let you pronounce it.
Kig is still holding everyone up, and there's big scrap. 3 cars involved. Renault Koots loses few positions and goes down to 14th. His car not looking any better after this.
Side by side across the line as we head on to the final lap. Mandula about to lose another place, possibly from Maddie. Maddie trying to get P5 for Team Rock Racing here, and he's ahead before turn 1, but he's gone deep. Mandula will probably concede that position. Yes, he does. So well done to Maddie.
Jarda pushing Pukis for the third place, very close fight as well.
Yeah, this is for the final
and
spot on
Adam
the
is
podium.
out, Adam is off, and Red Bot is through again.
Oh man, Adam, what have you done?
I think he went on the two wheels in the tricky turn.
Yeah, I don't know if he had that front left damage a few corners ago, but it's certainly quite big damage now. Maybe he hit the wall. One corner to go for Adam. Can he get this position back in the last corner?
This will be fight to the finish line. Let's see.
Redbot got a good exit. Redbot got a better one. It's
Adam
game
has
over.
a draft, but this will not be enough. I can see it already.
Redbot's gone defensive anyway, and Adam hasn't followed. He knows his fate is sealed.
Jarda still trying to draft Pukis. There is some draft. Jarda is closing up, but not fast enough. It will not be enough for him. But fourth position for him anyway. Yeah, fifth is Mandula, sixth is Erotica, just ahead of Chris McElroy. Kig holds off the whole train of 10 cars behind him. Kaike Piropo, Sherlock, Twin, Gustas, Boss, Frank, Renault Koots, unfortunately after all the collisions in 16th place. 17 is Numbers, 18 is Katila, Joni Katila, 19 is Unite, third in the championship, then is Petri Koivunen, Phantom. 22nd is Gavin Pete, second in the championship. Yeroloko 23rd, Ayub, Jiban 25th, after terrible race for him. Yari Katila 26th, Bots in 26th, then it's Texas, King Office, Soine, TJ down in 31st place. Tom Fuel, Giele, and looks like Rocky is closing the finishing order in 34th position.
Thanks for that, Zdeněk. We have one more finish of this race than we did in the first race, which is remarkable considering that the reverse grid race is normally the one where there's the most attrition. So well done for everybody for making it around. We only lost 6 drivers in that race. A little bit scrappy in the midfield, but considering how some of the previous races have gone this season, that was actually quite clean. So well done to everybody for that. It was quite an interesting race, good fun, great fun to watch as ever. And that's it. 2 rounds to go in the TRR 2020 Championship after today. And the provisional driver standings look like this. Jan Wikowski has just crossed over the 3,000 point barrier, barring any penalties or for drivers up ahead. He will retain the championship lead, and that will be a 94 point gap to Gavin Pete in P2 and Nika Bentola P3. 183 points further back, which means that it is a 3-horse race between those 3 guys in the Drivers' Championship. We'll find out what the state of play of the Teams' Championship is next week after the protest window ends for this round, and we'll look in anticipation to that for what will be, I think it's going to be a great climax to the season between TRR and Yes Motorsport. TRR will undoubtedly take over the lead in the Teams' Championship, but by how much? The FXO at AS7R will have the answer, and then the BF1 at KY32 in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, this was a really interesting race, and as mentioned, we have lots of finishers, so well done to everyone who crossed the start-finish line. And
I think we've got someone to talk to us in the commentary box. Someone who's had a bit of a sweaty race, Chris McElroy.
Hello.
Hello. P8, good job.
Yeah, apart from me outbraking myself many times in the same corner, but apart from that, it was quite good.
It was pretty good. I mean,
A lot cleaner than the previous one.
Exactly. Normally, race 2 goes very differently for you.
Yes. Especially this car. This is by far the best I've finished in this car.
You were listening to the commentary the whole time,
Yeah.
so you would have known when I put the camera on you and you nearly rolled it. I was a bit sorry about that.
Yeah. Well, not the first time in that race. I did that a few times.
No, and someone else
Getting used to 2-wheeling around there.
someone else who had a great race was Yaroslav Donelik, who joined us in the commentary box. Kid, do you have a quick few questions for Yarda?
Yarda, hello.
Hello.
Watching this race, I was really hoping you will make the podium. Unfortunately, it was really close. How would you rate this race?
Well, I think it was, at least from my point of view, a bit cooler race than the first one. It's a big difference when you start 35th or first. It's a big difference, and I think I made a full use of my pole position in the second race. So I'm quite pleased with that. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to finish on the podium. It was pretty close, but yeah, overall I am pretty satisfied.
Fourth position, I think your best result in this series. One more thing I would like to ask you. The pit stop in the last lap of the first race, was it on purpose so you can get pole position?
Not really. As I mentioned, in race number 1, I was starting 35th, and I was a part of a huge gaggles of cars and a lot of contacts. I was spun once, and I was only curious how much time the pit stop and the repairs will take. So I didn't even think about the pole position, but it was a pretty nice benefit.
But it worked pretty well, so congratulations to your 4th place. Very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks Yarda, thanks Elmo for coming to have a chat to us. Thinking forward to next race, we have the TBO at AS7R. I want to throw the questions to you guys. What do you think that's going to be? I think it's going to be a bit more of a challenging race than you've had in recent races, especially with the front wheel drive turbo. What do you reckon, Yarda and Elmo? Either of you can answer.
Yeah,
guys.
it depends how well my setup does around here, because I don't tend to do well with the actual fast FXO sets, because LFS physics makes them weird. But yeah, it could be interesting. It's a fast enough track that it's probably not going to be too bad.
Well, I think that the tire management will be definitely the key at this track, because you have a lot of mid-speed and high-speed corners, and front-wheel drive FXO always have struggles with tracks like these. So yeah, it's going to be, I believe, very interesting race again.
AS7 and AS7R are very, very difficult because they have high and medium corners, like you said, and they also have 3, or if you count differently, 4 hairpins. Very slow speed hairpins. There's some of the slowest corners in LFS in the what will be the final sector. So yeah, good one to look forward to.
It's very, very difficult to balance the setup for the car, so you have a good turn in the slow and fast turns.
Thanks for answering that final question. It's good to hear your thoughts on next week's race at AS7R on Tuesday the 17th of November here on Sim Broadcasts from 8 o'clock UTC. Then the final at K32 a week later at 8 o'clock again with the BF1. Thanks for joining us tonight, and as ever, thank you to the Sim Broadcasts team for helping out, put everything together and whatnot. Thanks to TRR for hosting us, and yeah, we wish you a good night. Thanks for watching. See you next week for round 43, the penultimate round of the Teamwork Racing 2020 Championship. We're looking forward to it. I hope you are too. From everyone here, have a great night. See you later.
Yeah, good night.
Bye.